Yes, hello. Sorry, someone said the sound keeps breaking up. That was actually because I left this mic on by mistake. First mistake of the night, but it's going to be the last one. There's going to be no mistakes. We are not at home to Mr. Cock-Up, as Rowan Atkinson would say, as Blackadder. Thank you for everyone asking about how my holiday was. Hi, Paul. Hi, Ingo. Yeah, okay. No one else there at the moment. Well, there probably are, but we can't see them. It was a brilliant holiday. Very good. You might notice I've got a little bit of a beard. There's a story behind that. On the first couple of days I was there, I got eaten alive by mosquitoes. Now, I had about 10 different bites, and Kerry had none. So work that one out. Can't get it. But there we are. And a couple of really big ones on my face, and I thought, well, that's going to look horrendous in a little bit when they start coming out. So I thought, over the next couple, I just won't bother shaving. So hopefully I'll shave before the next Korgis gig, but at the moment you're going to have to put up with me with more than a 7 o'clock shadow. Something or other shadow anyway. You're going to have to put up with me with one of those. So tonight I have my Cartoon World jacket on, but we finished the Cartoon World stuff. However, everyone knows that Cool Hits was kind of a mopping up after Cartoon World. So we're going to go through some of the videos that are on Cartoon that were on the Cool Hits album. We're not going to do absolutely all of them because some of them really weren't any different than the Cartoon World versions as far as videos were concerned, the different mixes and stuff like that. But there were a good few that were first offs there and a few more interesting things there. So we're going to catch them up in a little bit. I'm going to just drop in little bits of news as we go through and break it up a little bit. Paul Griffin, one of the big bits of news, of course, is that your liner notes have arrived, and they look really nice. Like the colour on them. Colour's very nice. And see all these little things that Kerry's been doing. She's been doing fighter bombers and all of that sort of, yeah. So that's good, and the CDs are on their way. I just had word today that they are going to be sent off tomorrow. Now, when they arrive, I don't know. I assume Monday. All right, that's my assumption. So if we're talking about Paul Griffin's CD, which Paul wrote, instigated all of them, and then I put my musical spoke in and put other spokes in wherever I felt like it, and we kind of worked it out between us. But I thought maybe we should actually just play a track from that. This is one that we haven't played here before, and I particularly like this, and this one's called Electricity is in the Air. So I think we're going to play you that one just as a little start. Yeah. Not much to see on screen, but I'm going to put it up on screen.
The skies are glowering, a storm is looming, electricity is in the air. There's thunder overhead, get the children to bed, electricity is in the air. The power could be out, the newsman said, electricity is in the air. Yes, it's dangerous out, let's go to bed, electricity is in the air. Do you remember our kiss on the escalator? Electricity was in the air. Sparks flew from the static, the lights were erratic, electricity was in the air. Our love was highly charged, the current was flowing, electricity was in the air. Electricity was in the air. Sparks flew from the static, the lights were erratic, electricity was in the air. Our love was highly charged, the current was flowing, electricity was in the air. The skies are glowering, a storm is looming. Electricity's in the air. There's thunder overhead, get the children to bed. Electricity's in the air.
Yeah, very nice track that. That's right, come down to me. Well, if I can figure it out. Oh, I don't know what I did there. All right, second cock of the day. Yeah, really like that track. It was good working on that. The lyrics made it interesting because you got that electricity is in the air, so it felt like it should have some kind of pulsing or something through it. So that kind of started the whole process of it. And I think that guitar solo in the middle is quite unexpected, isn't it? You don't expect that to come in, which is good. We like the unexpected, we certainly do. Yeah, there we go. So partway through, I might play something from my new album and see how it's coming on. I was doing a little bit more work on it today after being away for best part of 2 weeks. So let's go to Cool Hits. We kind of started this, we went, well, we haven't had a copy of Lines anywhere, that maybe we should, actually include that somewhere on an album, as it was the very first Korgis single, but written by Steve, I should remember this, Steve Lindsay. And of course he had his hit. And I remember being on Top of the Pops a few days in a row, or a few weeks in a row, his version with the planets coming in. And I was staying at a mate's place in London called John Ward, who turns out to be a mate of Steve Lindsay's. It's all very weird. But I was staying at his house in London for a couple of months. And I know that came on, and they went, oh, look at Steve, he's got the girls with him and all that. It turned out I spoke to Steve Lindsay about the recording of this afterwards and stuff. And he was, the reason he never stuck around with the Korgis is because he was very much more into the kind of brash side of new wave, into the Elvis Costello kind of Police kind of sound of it, and Ian Dury and the Blockheads. And in fact, it was the Blockheads that played on his version of Lines of the Planets. But we decided to do our version of it, and we kind of changed quite a few little things about it. So we, of course, have a little video to go along with it. So if I can find it, and I've got all sorts of disarray going on here at the moment, but if I can find it, we will hit Lines, and it's going to be coming up on your screen any second now. I think there's some sort of introduction to this that we use live, but it will arrive in just a second. Yes, it will. Honest, it will. Yeah, that was Lines. There's a few things that I'd completely forgotten about that. Of course, we had Jay from Born to Win, who when we did that live, he always had this megaphone. In fact, I think it's sat out there somewhere. And he'd just talk all of this stuff all the way through, or various bits of it, certainly during the choruses. He would talk all that stuff. And when we listened to what he was actually saying, it was complete drivel. It was complete drivel. But it just sounded great in context of it all. So I remember Andy Swain saying to me, "Oh, I love that just when he was talking down the megaphone." So that was interesting, and also we tried to make the bass line and everything. We tried to make it a little bit more kind of reggae dub. So there's a whole lot of all of Paul's drum fills and stuff are very, very kind of reggae, and some of the reverbs that we use, we had that bang, kang, kang, kang every now and then going through things. So yeah, great fun to actually do that, because although we've been doing it live for a while, we've just been playing through it, but when we started to actually produce it, we came up with a few little more things. So if we're going to take things in order, we would go to If I Had You. However, I'm pretty sure that everyone here has seen that video that we use live a million times at the Top of the Pops footage. And there is, there's nothing much new we can add to it, particularly like that version of If I Had You on Kool Hits. But what I thought would be more interesting to do, and I may well have played this before. In fact, it rings a bell. It wasn't too long ago. The origins of the song, the Kim Beacon Band, Andy Davis wrote it for the Kim Beacon Band as a kind of reggae. So there's a bit of reggae thing going through this whole album, really, isn't there? Not much, it must be said. But they were not a reggae band. They were a band like Little Feat. They were rock, but every now and then they would do something that was a little bit reggae tinge. Maybe in a little bit the way that Robert Palmer would do. And of course, Robert Palmer, very good mates with Little Feat. And I think they were all kind of influenced in that kind of bag. So here's a little bit of the Kim Beacon Band. This was the very original version of If I Had You. Great playing from Andy there as well. Some lovely guitar stuff. Sorry, I'm going to fade that out. It'll come back to me. Andy played. He was one of two guitarists in the band, I think, but he also played quite a bit of keyboards in the band too. So, and I think co-wrote about or wrote half of the songs on that particular album. Really nice one. I think, I always kind of miss that second verse that he puts in there. And obviously Andy kind of must have felt the same way, because when he does it with DLM, he puts that verse back in. I'm sure, most of you have heard the DLM version. I mean, maybe Mauro, you might not have, and Ingo, you might not have. Hello, Mauro, by the way. Sorry, I haven't said a proper hello, but I'll come back to you in a little bit. I'm just going to play you a wee bit of the DLM version, and this was something that I filmed them live. It was actually the first time I met Andy in what's it called? Little place in Bristol, little kind of cafe restaurant in Bristol. Someone will tell me where that is. But anyway, I'm going to play a little bit of his version, the DLM version of that, which is particularly nice, I think. Let me just grab it up here, if I can get this. Great stuff there. Great playing from everyone. Great harmonies for that. I kind of really enjoyed that gig, hearing them do some of those renditions of some of the songs. Not very much Korgis or Stackridge in there, but a lot of the newer stuff from Andy's solo albums, of which there's some great ones. In fact, yeah, I've gone on record to say that in fact, I think I did it at Mike Webb's gig down in Abbots Kurzweil. We did one of the Andy Davis songs before the Korgis come on, which I particularly loved. Yeah, there we are. If I Had You, that's it. Then this new version of Everyone's Gotta Learn Sometime, which had been released, it was released just as James Warren. It was produced by Matt Owens from Noah and the Whale, and it begun here with the three of us. James and Matt and I sat around and we did some of the basic guitar bits. James did the acoustic guitar bit himself, and then they took it up to Manchester, to a studio that Matt knew, and they used some other musicians up there. And then we brought it back down here and we wrote strings for it. And so it was supposed to be a really stripped down version of Good, but of course it turned into a much bigger version once we eventually kind of got it on Cool Hits. But it is a particularly lovely video as well, apparently inspired by the film Sunshine. So I don't know whether there's bits from the film on there. I assume it is. But anyway, I'm going to play this. This is if I've got it right here, and no, I haven't. I'll tell you where I've got it, because I've got it on YouTube. I remember. So I'm just gonna find this. 2 seconds. Let's go back. Not so easy. They don't make anything easy. Here we go. Everybody's Got to Learn Sometime. The 2020 version, but then revamped again for Cool Hits.
Change your heart. Look around you. Change your heart. It will astound you. I need your loving like the sunshine. And everybody's gotta learn sometime. Everybody's gotta learn sometime. Everybody's gotta learn sometime. Every day, so confused inside. Every day, you know we live such lives. I feel so helpless. When will we see the light? 'Cause everybody's gotta learn sometime. Everybody's gotta learn sometime. Everybody's gotta learn sometime. Like the sunshine, and everybody's gotta learn sometime. Everybody's gotta learn sometime. Everybody's gotta learn sometime. Everybody's gotta learn sometime.
Well, yeah, I think we all know that song, don't we? And God knows how many versions we've done it, because we've just done a version for the American album as well, which again is very nice, but I quite like that version. It was a real amalgamation. I think James played the acoustic guitar. I played that electric guitar solo in the middle. I put a bit of like Wurlitzer piano with thingy on it, and I think the piano bass, the grand piano bass and drums were done up in Manchester. Not sure if James played the bass or not. Could be, but I know it was a small scale bass with flat wound strings or something, which is why I go boom 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 like that. Quite a nice sound though. Like it a lot. Sorry, I'm just going to get rid of this YouTube stuff up here. Oh God, sorry, no, it's gone into one. Hang on. No idea who that is, but we don't want him. So yeah, I was going to say, Mauro, I've come back. I'm coming back to you because I know you were the reason that we started to put "Don't Look Back" in the Korgis live set, and of course, after we'd started to play that a little bit, or was it the other way round? I think it was actually the other way round, that we did the recorded version of it and then we played it live. So mainly James and I just sat in the studio and figured out how to do that. We did a big string arrangement for it. And yeah, a whole load of different stuff. And just thought about how we could reimagine how the original was. And I think James would tell you himself, his natural inclination is always to recreate the original. But I try and steer him into, we've already got the original. Why don't we try something a little bit different? So instead of that big Trevor Horn kind of where he was going for the Phil Spector kind of production, we just went for something that was a lot more clean and a lot more in your face. And so, yeah, here we go. This is Don't Look Back. We'll come back to it. There's a lot of stuff when I listen to these, I can't remember different little bits of it. But let's give it a go. Don't Look Back, especially for Mauro. Thank you for insisting on us playing that. And it's a great song. It's one of my favorites. So here we go. Don't Look Back, up on your screens now. So I'm going to start that up again with the sound up. That's going to be an awful lot better, isn't it? Yeah.
Down on luck, I can hardly say I'm down on luck. I've monopolized your life too long. I know that certainly something's gone wrong. Times are tough, I can hardly say that times are tough, but all around us friends are so confused. When you have so much to give,
Great stuff. I do like the kind of way that song sounds. It has got a kind of really kind of in-your-face kind of feel to it. And I completely forgot, of course, Richard Mainwaring's his electric violin solo in the middle, which I thought was just really a really nice touch. And we originally did have, in fact, on the original string score, there are all big strings in behind that. But then we decided to just pare it back to just the cello and his violin solo and the drums, and that was kind of just really gave it a weird kind of sound at that point, and then it all kind of builds up to the end. As well, there's some quite funny things in the video. I mean, when I put these videos together, it's very random, so there's a lot of stuff of just goodbye in it, and people it was all the people who kind of died in the last few years, especially the rock stars who died in the last few years. So you got your Freddie Mercury's and David Bowie and kind of Prince and all of that sort of stuff in there, as well as MASH. The end of MASH. But one of my favorite ones was the Monty Python race. Was it the race for people with no sense of direction or something like that? And when he fires a starting gun, they all just go in different directions. I can't remember which lyric that went with, but it kind of went with one of the lyrics, so I thought it was just funny. They're often put together very much at random, these videos, but good fun to do. Very good fun to do. I think we're gonna go on and do one more of these at the moment, and then I'll kind of make a tiny little detour. But I think we're gonna do "This World's for Everyone," which comes next on the album, and we'd been doing a version like this from way in the early days when Glenn Tomey was in the band. I think when we played the Stables and stuff, we did this song. So "This World's for Everyone," and rather than all of that percussion at the end, I kind of put in this guitar thing, a bit like The Edge from U2. And that kind of gave it a different sound altogether. Gave it a kind of different inflection, which I thought was quite nice at the time, and obviously everyone else did, because they let me keep it in. So eventually we came to record this, and this was at the time that I was working with the Matsiko Choir. I mean, I'm still involved with the Matsiko Choir, but at the time we were doing a lot of recording with them, and I got them to do the vocals for the choruses of "This World's for Everyone," and we got him to do a video. Hegsy, my mate, who spent a lot more time with them than I have, got him to record this video out there in the middle, and he's out there on the beach really going on, come on, more action, etc. So you'll see the Matsiko Choir in here. Anyway, I'm pretty sure everyone knows what the Matsiko Choir is, but it's an American organization, and they sponsor children in more deprived countries of the world, and they sponsor them all the way through school and university, and they come out being doctors and lawyers where they would have just been on the streets before that. So amazing organization that do brilliant work, and it's just a pleasure to have these guys on here. So this is "This World's for Everyone," the Kool Hits version. Here we go.
We look above to the starlit sky. We touch our hearts and be still. But deep inside, we are haunted men who talk of brotherhood as we kill. Freedom now, freedom now. This one's for everyone. This one's for everyone. Oh, suffering has an ancient face. It
Yeah, This World's for Everyone, featuring the Matsuko Choir. That bit where you see them going bananas at the end in the room and they're all kind of going, was completely spontaneous. We had walked across the beach to a different house where we were going to be doing the recording, and as we could approach the house, we could just hear this wild racket going on, and when we got to the door, they were all just singing and shouting, doing all of this stuff, playing drums and all different, taking the mics and it was just complete mayhem. So that's actually what you see. That was just a live event as it happens. Nothing they do is really very planned, very spontaneous, and they'll break into song at any time, absolutely at any time. So yeah, that was a rather a brilliant kind of episode, and we've kind of witnessed a couple of those where they just went completely bananas. Whoops, sorry, all my guitars have fallen over. Too many guitars. I'm going to play you a little bit of something from Let's Play the God Game. I think I put, which is my new album, later in the year. Not quite sure. I'm still waiting for a few people to come in and do vocals on things, and I've got more orchestrations to go on. Paul Smith's got to play drums on everything. But the whole album is complete. It just needs now the gaps filling in. So I put, way back, I put a little song up, which is just a little acoustic guitar song, up on Facebook, and this is the kind of finished version of it. There will be another version of this with strings and drums, because I'll probably release it as a single, because I think it's actually a good song. But how I'm going to play that is from something called the DDP. And the DDP, you used to see me go on, oh, this is a Sonar Songs thing. Well, this is a different kind of piece of equipment, and this is what we send to the duplicators. So this allows us, I'll tell you what, I'm going to stick it up on screen and you'll see what I mean. This allows us to decide exactly where the gaps are going to be in between the tracks, tracks that overlap, etc. So at the top there is a list of them, but underneath you can see all the different tracks and different things. I can put markers at different points. And so this particular song comes kind of second last track from the album, where the main god of this story is a god called Gordon, and it starts with a little piece called Gordon Regrets, and then it goes into a song called his finest creation. Yeah, my finest creation, that's what it is. And so I'm going to play you a little bit of this, and while we're doing it, you can have a little scrutinize around. Here we go. This is coming at you, I think.
In all the years, through the centuries, this was my finest creation. Through birth and death, sunshine and tears, yes, you were my finest creation. My childhood really wasn't the best, but I learned of love through this little place. Now we finally lay them to rest, I see is your face. I recall a time when the sun still shone. It gave warmth to my greatest creation. I overplayed my hand, now it's all gone. Yes, you were my favorite creation. I was hypnotized by the chase. Some folk were a little upset, though my heart was in the right place. Still I wake and regret. If you'll hear out this old fool's advice, you're successful as the last hand you played. And I paid out the heaviest price for those memories I saved. In all the years, through the centuries, this was my finest creation. Through birth and death, sunshine and tears, yes, you were my finest creation. Oh, you were my finest creation.
Yeah, that was my finest creation. I really should know the titles of my own song, shouldn't I? Anyone that already has a demo copy of this album, you might have noticed that the vocal was a little different there. It's because I put a different vocal on it today. I wasn't particularly happy with the last one, but there we are. That's all kind of going on quite nicely. And Watch This Space, Elena's got a load of vocals to put on it, Danielle's got a load of vocals to put on it, my mate Lyndon Morgans is going to do the voice of man, so he's got quite a few vocals to go on it as well. So this will be another Al Steele and Friends album, but it won't be the same friends as last time. It'll be partly the same friends and partly different friends. Okay, we're going to pick back up to Kool hits. I think we only have another 4 songs that I'm going to do on this because there's a couple of them like Bring About the Spirit of Love, where the video is not different at all. It's a different mix, and also the best thing you can do is love someone. I think this was the version where Emmy did the solo at the end. Fantastic solo at the end from Emmy. But again, nothing new to add from the video point of view. So I'm going to pick it up with the very first song that James and I wrote together. This is a song called Happy Man, and it was when I first regained contact with him after working with him in '92 for This World's for Everyone. The few dates that we did for the promotion of that album, got back in touch with him somewhere around 2016, something like that. And then through 2017, he was working on Innocent Bystander, and I contributed a wee bit to that, did some of the brass and string arrangements and a bit of guitar here and there. And we wrote 2 songs, of which the first one is Happy Man, and the second one was A Long Way Down, which of course ended up on my Alienated Nations album. We couldn't find anywhere else to put it that would really work with the Korgis, so that's where it ended up. We're going to start with this one, really where it kind of all began for the writing partnership, which carried on with the Cartoon World album, the Ununited Nations albums, and of course the Kool hits that we're talking about now. So here is Happy Man, the very first co-write that we did, coming up on the screen around about now.
You make me sing, you make me dance, you make me feel like I'm a happy man. Yes I am, because I can, because I'm feeling like a happy man. Happy man, happy man. You make me feel like I'm a happy man.
Yeah, happy man. Sorry about the beginning of that, but there was not very much new at the beginning that you wouldn't have seen later on in the videos. Quite a lot of repeats on that. So yeah, that was there was so many vocals on that song, it almost became unmanageable, and I'm going, where are they sitting now? Where are they? Oh god. James and I both contributed different blocks of parts, and we stuck them together, and then we doubled each other, and kind of all sorts of stuff. So that was great fun to do. And the very first song that we wrote together, and then Long Way Down being the second one. And A Long Way Down, I'm not going to play that now. I mean, whether we carry on and do all of the Alienated Nations isn't very long since we've done it, but maybe it would be interesting too. Long Way Down didn't really change. I didn't add any new things to it. I did a remix for the Alienated Nations album, but other than that, it was as we did it in 2017. So yeah, we still sounded good then. Next up is Fast and Loose, and a long way ago, and that's what would have been 2020, maybe something like that. James said, I'd like to do some more stuff in the studio. Do you think we could do, we could do something else? Maybe we could write with other people or whatever. So I put I put a little advert up kind of on Facebook and around the place going, fancy write with a name writer. And a couple of people came along and took up that challenge. Darren Parry was one who came along and co-wrote Broken with James on a single day songwriting session. And the other one that came up was Gavin Clifton, Gavin Clifton's a good friend of mine. I've worked with him for quite a long time, maybe done 30 songs with him, something like that, quite a few songs. And he wanted to write one with James, and we came up with this one called Fast and Loose. Now Gavin, you'll see him on Facebook now, and he calls himself the Disabled Writer. And I know there's a lot of people these days go, oh, you don't call it disabled, you call them this or that, the other. But Gavin's called himself the Disabled Writer because he's someone who champions people with disabilities. He himself has cerebral palsy and a speech impediment, so he finds it hard to get around, but he does get around, and he drives, and he finds it hard to speak. But I've got to understand most of what he says most of the time, and if not, he just kind of writes it down or types it somewhere. But he is a fantastic role model in the fact that everyone said to him, you will not be able to do that, you won't be able to do that, you won't be able to write songs, you won't be able to write books, you won't be able to do any of this stuff. And he went, I bloody well will. And he did. And he goes out and he does so many different things. He has a company with another songwriter, and they just do so much stuff. He writes books aimed at people with disability, with kids and stuff, and he goes around the schools, and he has things that will speak for him. There's so much stuff around these days. Anyway, this was a lyric of his that James then adapted. He messed with it. I was in on a session. I played some of the instruments on it, but I didn't co-write this. This is just Gavin and James. We co-wrote it, and this is a song called Fast and Loose. And sorry, I should have prepped it, and I didn't. And I will remember to put it up on the video screen this time. Here it is, coming at ya.
Deep regret. I know you never like to admit that I'm the only one that you wanted. You never even tried to explain why you won't let me into your life. You gave me fast and loose, your heart into stone. Fast and loose, you're killing my soul. You gave me fast and loose, in control.
past the blues. Turning me inside out, you get the past the blues. Turning me inside out, you get the past the
Few interesting things on that video there. The little cartoon of James, of course, came from of Innocent Bystander. Oh gosh, what was it called? We did a video of it. I should really remember that, shouldn't I? My favourite song off it, and the one where we always went, oh my god, that's so hard to play. It'll come back to me. It'll come back to me, or I'll go and look it up. It wasn't the first time. It was the other one that we did off that album all the time. We might even resurrect it. Who knows? Great. Some interesting little things on there. But it was put together. I always wanted to get John Baker on it. On the video, but it's just we just ran out of time with some of these things trying to get them out there. It never quite got around to it, which is why there's so much of me, too much of me really on that video. So there we are. The second last one that we come to, or that I'm going to do here, because there's a few that we're not going to do. The Ghost of You I'm not going to do because video-wise it's exactly the same as the last version. It's just a bit more of a disco dub version. As I said, best thing you can do, we're not going to do. Bring it back, we're not going to do. But we are going to do Magic Money Tree. This is the extended mix of Magic Money Tree, and I found the video that I'd done for the extended mix, and I particularly do love this particular one. Again, it's a bit of a historical document because it was the first song written for Cartoon World. One of two, This Is a New Low was the second one, and it was a three-way between Chris Hopkins, myself, and James, and you could clearly hear the different bits of it. Later on, this was after Cartoon World had been released, Chris said, hey, do you want to hear the second verse from This Is a New Low? And he played it to us, and we went, oh, that's amazing. I wonder if we can do a version where we get that in. It had already been an awful lot of work deciding which section would go where and then amalgamating it all together. And when we got this second verse, we had to do it again, and the whole end is different altogether. So it's quite an interesting thing. Chris Hopkins, of course, on this. Chris Hopkins sings that second middle eight for it. So John Baker sings the first one and Chris sings the second one. And they sound quite similar because it originally came from the way Chris delivers things, and unconsciously we mimic that a little bit. So here we go. This is, sorry, I haven't prepped this one either. Well done. I will get it any second. Where are we going? Yeah, no, I am going up. Magic Money Tree, Cool Hits. Coming at ya, I think. Yes, it is.
Because there is no magic money tree. You just can't pick those homeless off the streets who got first-rate medicine and corporate sponsored bills. It's not like the whole you get ill, no, they cure. That's 'cause can ride to find out the
Oh, a That's not doing very well, is it? Let's see if it comes back. 2 seconds there. I'm going to see if I can remember where I downloaded this from. Oh, I might have done it. Okay, that's very annoying. That's not working very well. Let's just see if the later bit of it works any better.
And when the twig snaps, nobody hears the sound. Like a ship without sails, off the grid and off the scale. The lights of the world fade out of sight, and only the stars are with us tonight. Only the stars. I made my millions, stealing from a poor man's purse. We trashed our neighbors and blamed it on the Turks. Didn't see the horseman aiming at the mark. Didn't see the serpent and the locusts in the dark. I hid my fortune, hid it in a dead man's chest. I saw the sunset. Suddenly the west, I felt the wind rise. My sails were torn and tossed, and in that moment I realized that I was lost. Magic money tree. We lost.
Okay, so sorry about that video. I think I'd saved it onto a dodgy SD card because I think I had to rebounce all of that off. Yeah, but there we are. So yeah, I love that second middle eight of that. Very nice indeed. I'm going to leave you on this one with Always a Sunny Day, but just before we do that, tiny little catch-ups, of course. Next week we have our gig at the Spa Pavilion Theatre in Felixstowe. If anyone fancies a trip way across the country on a Friday, gosh, why are we doing that? But there we are. You know, Danielle and I will be setting off very early in the morning, and then obviously staying that night and probably drinking quite a lot of wine, I would think, and coming back the next day. So that is that is next Friday. We're doing a rehearsal before that because we're rehearsing a couple of Beatles songs. I think we're going to do You Can't Do That, and I've forgotten what the second one is. I don't know where my head is today. Probably Still in Italy. That's where it is. So yeah, that's great. And that really is the last Time Machine gig, even though we're putting those extra Beatles songs in it because it's a kind of Beatles fest. It really is just a Korgis gig. It's a full-length Korgis gig. So it'll be great, Spa Pavilion. And then after that, we're into our new show, of which we've been talking a lot about it. We're we're going to keep tiny elements of the Time Machine show, but not very much of it. We're not going to do anywhere near as much of the stories. It's a bit more like a greatest hits really, of a lot of the new stuff, bringing back some of the old stuff, some Stackridge stuff we haven't done for quite a long time. So looking forward to doing that new show, and there's going to be new outfits as well. Time Machine suits gone. Going to be something brand new. You'll see in the fullness of time what it is. You know, it's always going to be a little bit wild with us, and this is no exception. There we are. So, of course, later in the year, new show kicks off at Chapel Arts in Bath in July, and straight away afterwards up at the Trades Club, Hebden Bridge. And then we've just been working out all of our stuff between our French shows, of which have become French shows, and a show in Belgium, possible show in Cologne in Germany, but haven't heard any more about that, so it might be a dead duck. We'll find out. And then very much later on in the year, Crier Arts was postponed until, I think it's October somewhere. It does say somewhere like that. So looking forward to seeing you at some of those. I'm just trying to see if there's anything else. I don't think there is really. So I think we are just going to leave you with this song, which was co-written by Joe Matera and James and myself, and this is Always a Sunny Day. And it's been very well documented that I was on an aeroplane. We're flying out to Greece on holiday, and Lorna, my daughter, said to me, turned out sunny again, just as we broke through the clouds and come up. And I said, it's always a sunny day when you're living above the clouds, or something like that. Anyway, and I went, God, that's a good song title. We went to Thessalonica in Greece, and by strange coincidence, we had a piano in the apartment. You never have a piano in the apartment. We had a piano in the apartment. And I wrote the chorus for this based on something that Joe had sent us, and so I wrote tunes over the top of that, and then we came back, James and I thrashed out all of the rest of it. Then the video was very interesting because it's about the haves and the have-nots. Of course, the Korgis are the haves. We're living above the clouds, and poor old Joe is stuck down there below, no money, no food, begging on the streets. Looks like a sorry case, he does. And we did a video to boot. Really difficult video to make. Getting the clouds to merge in the middle and getting it to look dark underneath and bright above and all that was quite hard. Lots of green screen here. Also, there's a little Korgis dance that we did in the in the choruses where we kind of do this Always a Sunny Day and there's a little twirl and there's all sorts of stuff. And we did all of those separately, so I had to remember what those dance moves were so I could direct everyone to do them. So a great fun video to do. And, you know, it's been a good, fun album to do. I think we'll go on and we'll do the ALienated Nations videos because the videos often get left behind a wee bit. It's an opportunity to talk a little bit about the music, but it's as much about the videos. So I hope you enjoyed this. Hope to catch you all again next week. Live streams will carry on without too much of a break now for a little bit. And we'll see where we get to anyway. So I'm going to love and leave you. Thanks all for joining us. And especially Elephant Stone, our new person. Lovely for you to join us. So I'm going to leave you with Always a Sunny Day, and we'll see you all next week. Yes, we will. Up on screen. Bye, guys.
Look at us both, we were just like brothers in that old photograph. I became a persistent scholar, and you took up fighting the flag. From anti-establishment ethos to a nowhere man without a home, while I flew up to heaven and made my living as the emperor of Rome. And it's always a sunny day when you're living life above the clouds. And it's raining on me. Choose how to spend your along the way, our windows shadows. The streets are restless tonight. Down here, I'm just chasing the shadows, trying not to lose the fight. The playground of the angels is a wonderland we all should see. Say it's not true that we're all locked into our destiny, stuck with what will be.